Thanks for the support as a channel member, Comrift. League 2's pretty easy, isn't it? Hello and welcome to part 50 of Bourne Again. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you in League 2. I almost said League 1. Silly me. I'm thinking of next season. We're playing away against Crewe and at home against Wimbledon. Since you were last with me, we've had a very solid start to life in the Football League. We've set some records. Not only have we set the lowest attendance record in League 2, which was that game. That game against Chester. No, it wasn't. It was the one on the first day of the season against Newport. And we've also set the lowest attendance record in the EFL Trophy. 56 people turned up to watch League 2 Bourne play against Bournemouth under-23s. The Battle of the Bournes, and only 56 people turned up. They may as well just cancel that trophy if only 56 people are going to turn up to games in it. That's ridiculous. But as you can see, we're not doing too badly. And this is what the league table looks like. Apparently. Do we get to see it? There we go. This is what the league table looks like. We find ourselves 8 games in, sat in 4th place, 1 point outside of the automatic promotion spots. This is going to be an interesting thing about League 2, because in League 2 is the easiest league in football to get out of, because the actual quality difference isn't hugely upgraded from the conference. But rather than having 1 automatic promotion spot and stupid playoffs, it has 3 automatic promotion spots and normal playoffs. So we don't even have to win the league. We could finish 3rd and still go up automatically. Or if we do finish 7th, we've got a chance of doing proper playoffs properly. So I'm not genuinely thinking about promotion right now. But if things carry on going as they are, there's a possibility that we might find ourselves in the hunt for our first back-to-back promotion since the regional league days. This is the team we're putting out there for the first game against Crewe. We've got Williams in goal, a back four of Mark Sheffield, Bedwell, Lavelle and Webster, Bradshaw, George Tanner, McWilliams and Robinson in midfield, and Coots and Westbox up front. Westbox gone off the boil a little bit after his very, very bright start. He looked spectacular in the last episode. Only scored 1 more goal since then. But Coots is something a little bit special. He's only scored the same amount of goals, but he also has another 5 goals in the 3 cup competition games. So 9 goals from 11 appearances in all competitions. He's very good, and he was outstanding. I think it was against Leeds in the League Cup. Right, let's assign a squad number to another one of our youngsters. I'm recording these episodes a little bit in advance, so I don't know if anybody who has the Name in the Game channel memberships claimed anybody yesterday, because as at the time of recording, that episode hasn't been released yet. Keep your run going and win this match. But same rules apply. If you're a Name in the Game channel member and you want one of these youngsters who are just going to be randomly appearing on the bench throughout the season, let me know down in the comments and I will set you up with one. Yeah, they're unlikely to ever do proper football, good stuff. Sentences are great. So if you want to save yourself for a player in the other series, or for when we're a little bit deeper into this one and have some youngsters come through who might have a chance of making it, fully understand that, because then they're more likely to actually be a part of the save. Like Marius Hegley is in Non-League to Legend this year, like Lerick Fernandez was in the home series last year. It's always a little bit luck of the draw when you do the Name in the Game thing, but if you do get that little slice of luck, you become internet famous by becoming a footballer. And Lerick Fernandez, I'm fairly sure most people don't even realise he's a real person, a Name in the Game member from last year. They probably just think he's a regen name. Taylor Coots has just scored to put us 1-0 up against Crewe. It's a lovely little breakaway goal. McWilliams with the ball forward. Westbox plays it beautifully into the path of Coots, and Coots has a knack of doing exactly what he's just done there. When it looks like it's a little bit 50-50 between him and a defender when the ball's played forward, he just has a little way of coming away with the ball, and it's a very useful skill to have. You can tell he's got an awful lot of quality about him. He's still expected to go on to become a Premier League striker in his future, and I expect he probably will, because he is already, just from the little bit of game time that he's had already, getting better and better all the time, and he is going to be a very, very good striker at this level. If he's not already there, by the end of this season, he's going to be a League Two superstar. And I suspect next season he'll be at least playing in the Championship. Bradshaw's picked up a little bit of a knock. We don't have much in the way of options who can play out on that left wing. Broadbent can, apparently. It's not ideal to play him out there because we know him as the tough tackling, deep-lying playmaker with his lovely distribution and last-ditch tackles. He doesn't really scream flying winger. But needs must, he's left-footed, he can play out there. So it was either put him there or push Mark Sheffield forward. But looking at the bench, there was no one down there to come on for him. I guess Bedwell could have gone to left-back and Delaney, presumably, is a centre-back and could have moved over. But I'm not playing an untried youngster unless I absolutely have to. Robinson isn't having the best of games out on the right wing. He's only in. I've not fallen out with Sarti, but again, being restricted by the 5 low knees rule. If we want to have George Tanner in midfield, and he has been in good form, we have to lose one of Sarti or Bradshaw. Bradshaw now being injured means Sarti can probably come in for the next game, but Robinson is going to come off now. We'll stick Dodd on that right wing and give it another 5 or 10 minutes before maybe taking off West Box and getting Richardson on up there, and that's exactly what we're going to do now. Richardson can come on up front. Bond is up on the bench. Bond has made his League Two debut. One of the heroes of the last couple of years in the National League, has slowly but surely started to force his way into the squad, mainly as Robinson's been playing on the right-hand side of midfield. Bond sits on the bench as the second substitute striker. He rarely has to come on unless both strikers have a nightmare, but he has been on a couple of times. Here's Dodd trying to conjure something up on the right-hand side. Webster plays it forward to Richardson, who can't quite keep hold of the ball, but George Tanner's in there to win the header. But Broadbent, because he's playing a little bit out of position, hesitated there, didn't really seem to know whether he was coming or going. Normally, when we see Broadbent in the centre of midfield like that, we expect him to come away with the ball and do something fancy with it, because that's what we've grown used to. Doesn't seem very comfortable playing on the wing at all. But like I say, sometimes, especially when you've got as many loans as we have, needs must. And I guess there is an argument with the way we're lining up here right now that we should have gone to a diamond as soon as Bradshaw was injured, because we had, I'm sure there's another midfielder on the bench, and we could have gone to a diamond, stuck Broadbent at the base of it and not had to have a right back on one wing and a central midfielder on the other. Mental note, Kev. I'm even training a diamond as well, because I suspect it's something we might have to resort to this year. But for whatever reason, we've not done it today. And we've just given away a penalty. And of course it's Dodd, the other player playing out of position, who's somehow got himself all mixed up in this nonsense. He's supposed to be playing on the wing today. Why is he in there handling the ball in that situation? We've got 15 seconds of the game left and it's 1-1. And yeah, I mean, looking at the stats, a draw is absolutely a fair result. Crewe did deserve to get something out of the game, but I think a little bit less naivety, a little bit more tactical nous, a little bit more playing to the players I've got on the pitch rather than trying to squeeze them into my tactic, especially because they're bottom of the league. We should have switched to the diamond and we'd have got 3 points there, I think. Lesson learned. What's wrong with Bradshaw? Only a couple of days. That's acceptable. Well, the injury to Bradshaw has led to a bit of a reshuffle around in the midfield. Firstly, we've brought Dodd back in at right back to reward him for giving away the penalty at the end of the last game. Kev logic. Broadbent's going to have to stay out on the left wing, so we don't really have much in the way of other options out there. I guess Gary Mitchell could play, but Broadbent is supposedly the second best left winger we've got, so he's going to play on the left-hand side, which means Sarti can come back in on the right, so Robinson drops back down to the bench. George Tanner's going to move across to play in that role, and Montgomery comes in as the deep-lying playmaker, with McWilliams dropping out of the midfield altogether. Hopefully that's a better midfield, I would hope. I'm expecting to get beaten in this game, partly because Wimbledon's shirt sponsors a Football Manager, partly because they're playing the 4-3-3, which still scares me after, was it FM18? That was the nightmare tactic. So it just scares me whenever I see him playing it, but also because my pre-match recommendation for my assistant manager was to play a defensive tactic against this. Like, I haven't had that recommendation in a home game at all this season. It's a little bit worrying. I don't even know. I mean, they're down in 20th place. What's so scary about AFC Wimbledon, other than the fact they've got Football Manager on their shirts, so they might get the Watford advantage? Montgomery plays it forward to George Tanner. That's a lovely pass forward to West Box. A flick on from him for Coots. And Coots is in here. And Coots very nearly gets the ball past their goalkeeper. He is very dangerous from that exact move. West Box is a good link-up striker, even though he's officially a poacher. But that was a very good opportunity early on in the game. Hopefully, we get plenty more of them. It didn't count as a clear-cut chance, but I've seen Coots score from that kind of position already this year. Broadbank back to Coots again. Cross comes in. Lovely deep cross. Sarti's in, and he had an absolute age. He took about 4 touches and somehow still managed to miss. It hits the post, and Mark Sheffield's delivering it to him again. This time, the header doesn't connect at all, and Wimbledon have got a little bit of a break on here, and we are chasing back, and luckily they shoot wide with their first shot of the game. But that was a very dangerous breakaway from them there. We need to make sure that we're starting to take some of these chances. We've had one very, very good chance for Sati, but 2 opportunities really to take the lead in this game, and we have been the better team early on. And we need to be capitalising in these opportunities. Broadbent now again in his uncomfortable wide position. Mark Sheffield, another stunning cross though. And this time there's no messing around from Sati. He just hits it first time and puts us 1-0 up. 32 minutes on the clock. Sati's second goal of the season. Our first of the day. It's Bourne 1, Wimbledon 0. And Mark Sheffield is dangerous from this position. He hits a lovely deep cross. And Sati is slowly but surely starting to learn that there's a good idea for him to hang around just inside the penalty area on that side when Mark Sheffield's got the ball, because there's probably a deep cross coming in that's going to elude all the strikers. But if there just happens to be someone drifting in from that right-hand side, there's going to be a good opportunity for him. Broadbent, once again, just play it back to Mark Sheffield. He does. Now let's have the cross. Cross comes in again. This time, not quite as good. He was a little bit far forward, actually, for where his best crosses are delivered from. But he's got himself in an overlap position here. If Broadbent can find him, he does. Mark Sheffield, lovely cross again. This time for Sati again. And it's just over. Once again, we seem to be in the situation as well where all of the fans are sitting down behind the goal. There's no one anywhere else in the rest of Abbey Lawn. I don't understand it. They may as well just knock those terraces down and build stands up there. I know we're officially looking for a site for a new ground, but if we're not using 3/4 of this one, we may as well redevelop it this year while we've not got any fans. That stand at this end, we only built that 2 years ago. I don't see why we're trying to move to a new ground at this stage, because the new one we're looking at isn't any bigger than the one we're in now. So let's just stick some seats on all of these. If terracing's the problem, slap some seats in and stay here for a few years, because then when we hit the Championship or the Premier League or wherever it might be, we can build a big enough ground and not have the awful MK home situation that we had last year. Williams now, looking to deliver it to Sati with the goal kick. It gets to him, but Sati misses out on the header and it's been sent straight back, and Williams just about gets a fingertip to that, I think, and it's been tipped around the post. There's not even a burger van at this end. There's one bin for all these people, no burger van. We're not capitalising on this time in the Football League at all. We need a better marketing man. So Mick Powell, he's got a good football head, but he needs to bring somebody in to figure out how to do the off-the-pitch stuff, because he's starting to show some of his drawbacks as a chairman with some of the weird decisions that he seems to be taking. Right, Coots not playing very well today, so Robinson can come on for him. George Tanner can be replaced by Hackney, who's the man who probably should have come on in the last game. I'm going to switch him to be a central midfielder on support and just keep going as we are and hope we don't concede another late goal. We're having a corner. Oh, they've got a corner taken initially by the invisible man, but then a man appeared, and there's your goal line scramble, and there's your equaliser. It's like there's a script for Bourne games at the moment. We take a 1-0 lead, we don't really defend it very well, and then sometime in the last 20 minutes we concede a sloppy goal, and that one is sloppy. Lavelle has to do better there. Williams makes a good stop initially, but Lavelle just has to clear it to touch. I don't know what he's doing playing it across the goal line like that. We're going to go attacking for the last 10 minutes. I know we were told we're supposed to be defending in this one, so theoretically this is a good team we're facing, but niblets to that, we want to win a football match. We're going to bring on McWilliams for Montgomery, and we've already gone attacking. We're going to ask for some creativity, and we're going to hopefully grab a winner. Robinson floats one in. Bedwell's there, and it's just over from Bedwell. It's another very good chance for us, and we need to get a little bit more prolific with tucking some of these chances away. We are still in a very solid position, 5th place in the league, but a couple of draws in games that we probably could have won, and with a little bit more oomph about us, we would have won. I'm going to say we weren't good enough today, because I think we should have won that one, definitely. We were at home. We were the better team. There's no excuses. This is what I get for doing an intro where I said League 2 is easy, because in our last 5 games, we've only won once. It's not easy. I take it all back. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.